What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider, and I am joined once again by Mr. VIP Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
I am infinitely awesome, Spider. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? I gotta take these off. My eyeballs are sweating.
Wait,
Eyeballs
you
are
said your
sweating.
eyeballs are sweating?
Yeah, sometimes they sweat.
Too
Because
many
my
layers?
eyeballs are different. Too many layers. Like ogres. We have layers. There's a new Shrek coming out too, by the way. Did you know that?
Please don't remind me.
It's a family Shrek, dude. Fiona and Shrek have kids.
They did. They had
It's
kids in the last two movies.
yeah, but they're grown up now. Gotta go through the growing pains. You gotta see how Shrek is as a dad.
We saw how
Daddy
Shrek is
Shrek.
as a dad, and I think he
Or
lost his
don't
kids
you?
at some point.
Yeah, that sounds right. He's an ogre, so that's expected.
I guess it's just adding to the long list of movie either remakes or sequels that are
Couldn't be
absolutely
done.
not needed. Yes. Just like Toy Story 5.
Whoa, hey, don't you want to see how Woody and
No,
Buzz are doing with
no, no.
wow.
They didn't need a Toy
But
Story 4 either.
Jesse's there.
Okay.
Wow. Mr. Potato Head is there. Mrs. Potato Head is there. Rex with the little arms is there. How could you not want to catch up on the game?
Because what else are they going to do? What else do they need to do?
Exist. They need to exist.
Do they
Same
though?
reason why they're making another Oceans. What is it? Ocean 14 now?
I don't know.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt. Hey, hey, hey. I wonder if George Clooney will get reunited with his sister, Selma Bullock, Sandra Bullock.
Probably. Probably. Because I mean,
They
why
might
not
wait for
merge the two
Ocean
together?
15. They may wait for Ocean 15 to do that. It's called nostalgia. You feel it. You have to.
Do I? No, you don't. You
Remember
really don't.
Barry. Remember?
No.
Remember when it was an Ocean's 11? Remember? Now there's an Ocean 17. If Hugh Jackman can play Wolverine till he's 90, you're gonna get another Trek. College years.
Are they not
They
college
got to
age now?
Oh, I don't know that much. Listen, Mike Myers is back. He's doing another Austin Powers. They're doing Shrek. You- It's it's time. It is time
Why?
for you to make that IP popular again.
Why? Make something new.
Come closer. Come closer. Let me tell you why. Money. That's why.
Like,
Money.
that
Yeah.
it's not a surefire thing.
No, but what
It's
happens
not
is
guaranteed.
we introduce a new audience to the old Austin Powers, and I'm just using Austin Powers as an example. And then you get caught up with the new Austin Powers, so it all tracks.
It, but your new audience isn't the same as your old audience. New
We're gonna
audience
get
may
them
not
too.
find the same things funny. They may not find it as entertaining as the audience
But
used to back then. And so it's
that's the question. Can they still bring it? And that's what people want to go and see. Is
I
it still
don't
funny?
I don't think it has anything to do with the actor himself. You're talking about different directors, different writers, different times. They're trying to pull in different jokes for modern day. You
Hmm.
don't have the same, and it's like the whole thing with Scary Movie. After a certain point in time, you lose that lackluster drive for a parody type movie. So
I won't
Bond
say that,
is
Spider.
not big like it used to be. So making a
What are you saying,
parody,
Bond?
yeah, James Bond. Austin Powers was a parody of James Bond.
Right, you're right.
And so back in the 90s, early 2000s, James Bond was still a very prominent figure in the movies. So making a parody of a popular figure was trendy. But the last Bond movie
You
we
could
got was what? Was it Skyfall or was there one after that?
Dan- Daniel Craig died in the movie, so I don't know. I disregard that one because Bond never dies. Do you think that's why the scary movie went more meta than it did more funny?
Probably.
Uh,
Because and the thing about it is that there are always going to be horror movies. So there's always going to be properties to make parodies of when it comes to scary movie. But
they put a lot in there.
because I mean, you think about when the last scary movie came out, and when the last time the Wayans did a scary movie, how many horror
Oh, that
movies
was even longer.
have come out since then? So they had a lot to pull from. But I just think that the genre of a parody movie was so watered down by everybody trying to bite off the success of scary movie. It made it to where people aren't really like excited about going to see those types of movies anymore.
I like the Wayans brothers. Period. Put a period there.
Yeah.
They should do regular movies, not like White Chicks, not like Scary. But like some of the best things that I've seen Marlon do was like what was a scary movie too. He was doing the spiff on what is the one with the book the Mr. Gray uh Shades of Gray, 50 Shades of Gray.
Oh yeah.
He did the Mr. Black, and it
Wasn't that
was a
also just a
decent.
parody movie too?
Yeah, it was a parody. That's what I said. It was a parody as well. But I appreciated him doing that versus, you know, the meta stuff, I guess.
You know. Well, I mean, heard I didn't see him, but I heard that Marlon did a really good job in him.
In Mr. Black or a scary movie?
No, in him, the movie Him.
Oh, in him. You know what? I did see him. I appreciate that movie.
Hmm.
It was all over the place, as in wacky, but he brought it. I'm not gonna take that away from him.
Yeah,
But who else could be him besides him? Him.
it's very true.
That's it. They didn't come here to hear about that. They came here to talk about a mutant. Yeah, I said it. I called
He
it.
is not a mutant. He's a
He's a
mutate.
mutate.
Yes, he
Yeah,
is a
but that's not what
mutate.
they're gonna say. I was having this same conversation with somebody else today. They may say he's a mutant,
Mm,
which they can't. This is the beginning of the mutant saga with Jean Grey being introduced as a predominant mutant, not the first mutant that
no,
goes to Apocalypse. Another mutant that's older than dirt is older than dirt. Namor, also a mutant. And they have retcon Miss Marvel from having her abilities from the Terrigen Mist, or maybe she still got it from the Mist. She's also a mutant. Na, 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 na.
well, I mean, if she's a mutant, then she wouldn't have gotten it from the mist, because mutants are it's on a molecular level on their DNA.
Puberty. Yeah.
I mean, essentially, yeah, but the Terrigen Mist where they made the Inhumans was essentially a mutate, just kind of like Spider-Man. You had something that was introduced into your physiology that made that change. But
You want to get into this?
let's get into it. So we are going to be discussing
Here we
Spider-Man
go.
Brand New Day.
I
Full
saw the
disclosure, of
thumbnail.
course, if you know, you've listened to, you've watched any of our videos, you've heard the podcast before, you know, when we have new movies that come out, we go directly into spoilers. We it's on you. We are taking that as if you are here, you've either seen the movie already or you didn't really have any plans to see it,
Full
and you
spoilers
are
ahead.
just okay with us talking about the movie ad nauseum. So we are launching into talking
Check out now.
everything about the movie.
That's
So we're
we don't give
just
warnings, but that's probably the closest thing you gonna get. Check
exactly
out now if you haven't seen Spider-Man New Day because we going in. And Spider, I know what this show is traditionally known for being untraditional. We do what we want here. We grown.
right.
I'm coming straight out the gate. Spider, was Spider-Man a brand new day super or not super? Let's just go ahead and pull the gloves off. eyeball sweating. Let's go ahead and pull an extra pair on. We going
I don't know
in.
why that just sounds so gross. Uh and I mean it would sting if it's sweat because there's salt in sweat.
It all depends on if it's coming
Well,
from the
no,
tear
because
ducts
yeah,
or
tears have salt in it too.
salt
Well, you're
in
talking
it.
about sweating. I'm thinking like your eyes are like saturated with it, but that's neither here nor there. No, absolutely, without a doubt, 100% super, no question about it.
Ask me the question.
So I have to
We
right
going.
back
We
at
going
you,
in right now.
Mr.
We going
VIP
in right
Frankie
now.
Washington. When it comes to Spider-Man: Brand New Day, is it super?
No. Now that that has been established,
I don't know
let's get
what you
into
did, but
nonsense.
you clapped and your audio got noise gated, and then it just sounded like you moved 10 yards away from your microphone.
How is it now?
It's still a little quiet. I think you peaked and it like just kept you at
We'll give it
peak.
a second for the
There you go.
equilibrium to
Yeah,
balance
there
out.
you go.
I get loud and it fucks with the distortion. Well, I can't say that in the first half of the video.
I mean, we're
It
already
gets loud
over 10 minutes
and it
in, so
fucks
you're
up the
fine.
distortion.
So you say no, it's not.
I'm saying no,
Okay.
but I'm gonna allow you to go into why it's super, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm gonna go into why I feel it's not super, and it
Okay.
may not be the reason that y'all think.
All right.
What did you enjoy about this new iteration of Spider-Man?
So
Is
since
there a
we've
list?
I mean, it's not a new iteration of Spider-Man. It's
Yeah,
just a
it's a new
new
edition,
story.
yeah. Yeah.
But I have not I've not minced words when it comes to Tom Holland Spider-Man and how they've portrayed him so far in the MCU. And
You said
as
earlier about this is this generation Spider-Man versus all of our Spider-Man, and I wanted to put a pin in that right there because I
yeah,
wanted to talk about that on cam so we can dive into that. But go ahead and finish. I just want you to know that's waiting for you.
yeah, because Tom Holland is the Spider-Man of this generation. I mean, yeah, we've had Toby show up and Andrew show up in No Way Home, but as far
Mm-hmm.
as you look at, he was introduced in Civil War in
Right,
2016, and here we are 10
right.
years later, Brand New Day. We have had this Spider-Man longer than any other live action Spider-Man in the movies.
Very
So
true.
he is the Spider-Man of a generation, of this current
Of
generation.
right
He's
now.
the Spider-Man that people are more familiar with than any other version of it. For some people, he's their favorite. For some other people, they still love Toby. Some other people still love Andrew. Everybody has their opinions. But the good thing about it is that with this multiverse, you can have a favorite Spider-Man and it doesn't detract or take away
Right. Some
from
people say
anything
Miles
else that the
Morales.
others. Yeah, some people will say Miles is their favorite and everybody's entitled to their opinion. Tom, and I've gone on record and said this as well. I felt like Toby was a great Peter Parker. Andrew was a
Uh-huh.
great Spider-Man. And I feel like
You said
Tom
that.
is a great balance of both. This movie
Okay.
allows Tom to be able to portray Spider-Man as Spider-Man without having to worry about the influence of others on his life so much. Meaning that when we had Spider-Man Homecoming, it was really about Peter trying to impress Happy, impress Tony to try to be
Mm-hmm.
like Tony. He wanted to live up to be a
Mm-hmm.
hero like Iron Man. He wanted to live up
Makes sense.
to Tony's expectations or what he felt Tony's expectations were of him. Spider-Man Far From Home, he's dealing with the ramifications of one, Tony's death. So he's like, how do I
Mm-hmm.
navigate this superhero space now without my mentor? And two, now I'm dealing with a villain who is basically remnants of Tony's life. So he's having
Which
to
is
deal
not
with
how
that.
it is in the comics, but
Right, which is not
okay.
how it is in the comics. Spider-Man No Way Home, we're dealing still with the remnants of
Yeah, the
Mysterio.
fallout.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
fallout of that. And then we are, I would say, Spider Man No Way Home was a love letter to the previous Spider Man movies. It was nostalgic, it was fan service, it was everything that people wanted to see when it comes to those actors interacting with each other. And so, really,
Mm.
you think about No Way Home, and really, the only thing people really talk about is the third act of the movie when we get Spider-Man back with his, once the variants come in and they go through the entire process of trying to make sure that everybody gets healed. That's when the movie like really started kicking off. So you're talking about Peter trying to create the items to heal the villains or cure the villains so that way when they go
Mm-hmm.
back to their own universes they aren't killed. And then the death of Aunt May as a result of the Green Goblin,
Mm-hmm.
kind of coming back into his own. So from that point on, that's like the highlight of No Way Home. Spider-Man Brand New Day, we already know that Peter Parker does not get to be happy. Very rarely, I should say. Peter Parker in the comics and movies very rarely gets to be happy. And
Drag him through the mud.
every single time, it's his lot in life. But I feel like Brand New Day did a great job of showing us the internal struggle that he has to deal with of being Spider-Man over being Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got Ned finding out in the first movie. We got May finding out at the end of the first movie. We got MJ finding out in the second movie. So for a good majority of his career that we've seen on screen of him being Spider-Man, he's had
9
people
months.
that know that he's Spider-Man. So it's not that he's having to hide what he's doing from them. So he has their support. He has their help. And one of the things that makes Spider-Man and Peter Parker's story so tragic is him having to hide that identity from the people that he loves and the people that he cares
Mm-hmm.
about the most, and all the trouble
Mm-hmm.
that comes along with that. And so, even though it's because of a memory spell that made everyone forget who he is, he's still going
Mm-hmm.
around. And if he comes into contact with anyone he knew prior to the spell, he's still not introducing himself as Peter Parker, just in
Right.
case if he does become friends, becomes close to them, and then, the whole cycle begins again. They find out that he's Spider Man, or someone else finds out that he's Spider Man. He doesn't want his loved ones to be threatened. So the
Yeah.
fewer people that knows that he's Peter Parker and that Peter Parker is Spider Man, the better he can sleep at night, knowing that no one is going to be put in harm's way based on his identity. Which is why
Mm-hmm.
when Jean goes after MJ,
No, no, no,
it's,
no, no, no.
threat level one, highest level. I have to get to MJ to make sure that she's okay because everything that
Yes.
I have feared is now come to light. And so I need to do everything that I can to make sure that she's safe. And the the acting between Tom and Zendaya, between Tom and John Bernthal, between Tom and Sadie Sink, the acting was so well done. The story was
Mm-hmm.
incredible. The conflict, even Tremel Tillman playing Metzger, was just excellent. He has this, I don't know if you watch Severance, but Tremel Tillman playing Mr. Milchick in Severance and playing Bill Metzger here in Brand New Day, they are very similar to the same type of character. He has a very calm demeanor. He is very like reassuring, saying that, basically saying all the right things to put you at ease, to not suspect that he has any other nefarious intent or anything like that. And I feel like he played that role so perfectly all the way up until the very end. When Jean is captured in this room and he's, testing her, he knows that these tests have killed her sister. But still, at the same time, he's like, everything's fine. We're just scanning your brain waves. We just want to make sure that we have everything that we need to be able to, the whole thing about these government organizations. We want to take these empowered people or take their abilities so that way we can better protect the country. That way we can better protect, you know, society, but damn how we get it. As long as we have it, we can do what we need to protect everybody else. But
And for the record, they have some of it.
they
Just
have
want to
some of it.
throw that pin in there.
I don't know if they know exactly how to implement it and how to use it, how to take that brain activity and put it into someone who doesn't have those type of powers, which I feel like
We'll talk about that in a second.
I don't know how they would do that, but it's a comic book movie, and there have been more outlandish things that
Let me
they've
put it
done.
in here now, so I don't forget about it.
Yeah,
They did take the sonic weaponry, and
right.
we have seen Damage Control miniaturize it and use it on metahumans, or if you want to call them mutants, or if you want to call them mutates. In She-Hulk, we saw that the Damage Control had the sonic guns,
Hmm.
same one from the Ed Norton Hulk. I don't know what we categorizing that as, but they had the sonic cannons. Big was on the back of a Hummer.
Yeah,
Now they got it miniaturized, so it's almost handheld. If not handheld, it's on a rifle, and still as effective.
yeah,
So they are good at reverse engineering things.
yeah. And I mean, it even when Peter was fighting the Hand and the DODC agents came out and they had the, I guess, sonic cannons almost that would disrupt the genetic, or not the genetic, but disrupt the makeup of his webs. And just like Jean said, like, you think that these people are your friends, but why would they develop weapons to combat your abilities?
Mm,
And that's the thing that we haven't gotten to see before this. Like, we saw that Peter trusted
Mysterio.
Mysterio, but that was out of a place of grief. That was out of Mysterio manipulating him and making him feel like he wasn't adequate to where he would give up Edith in order for Mysterio to be able to take it from him. But we hadn't seen Peter come to those realizations on his own, in a sense of, I need to ensure that I'm trusting the right people. Because it wasn't
Hmm.
until MJ told him, like, hey, I didn't remember anything when she took over my mind, when Jean took over her mind. And the
Hmm.
fact that Mesker lied to him, and then he comes back and he sees that and he's just like, okay, clearly I've had things wrong. And
Yeah,
we get to see him
and
make up for
and you
those
don't know
mistakes.
and you don't know who's a scroll. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I don't think that Peter even knows that. Well, it depends on. You know what? I'm not getting into it. I'm not going down that road. We are not
He
talking about
literally had
scrolls.
scrolls in
We are
his
not
last
talking about
movie,
scrolls. We're not
in
talking.
his movie
But
with Mysterio.
yes, but did he ever see them change? He did not.
Mm,
He still thinks
mm,
that he was still talking to Nick Fury.
mm.
It
I'm gonna
because
save my
even
part for my
because
part.
even in No Way Home, when a DODC agent told him that Nick Fury had been off world for the past however many months, and Tom looked at him like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "I just talked to Nick Fury in London." He still thinks that that's who it was. He doesn't know it was a scroll
Here's the question: how does the DLC know this?
because I'm sure they
How
have
how are they a
informants
step ahead? How are they
a step
reverse
ahead of Spider-Man.
engineering these things? How do they know Nick Fury is off planet?
I'm sure that they have kept tabs on them. They keep tabs on everybody. I'm sure they have files on every single hero.
Nick Fury is not a mutant, nor is he a danger
You don't think Nick Fury is a
to.
danger?
He's literally putting a team together. Let me tell you something, Spider. You might not know
Hmm.
this. There was once an idea that we would gather the mightiest heroes
Right.
when the planet is being threatened, and they'll all come together,
Okay.
not to win, but in fact to lose, but learn so much in that loss that they'll come back and avenge their loss or whatever they lost in the losing process.
So you're saying that the DODC shouldn't view Nick Fury as a threat?
I won't say that. Well, based off Secret Invasion, he's also stepped. He's not the same Nick Fury. So, no, leave him alone. Can't even run.
So
Leave
the man who has almost every superhero as a contact in his phone is not a
no,
threat.
because no. The fact that he gave all the DNA away to a foreign exchange student and
You think
allowed
that's
him
the
to
only bit of that he has?
think he has more. This is a hot
Absolutely.
take right here. What?
Who was it? Was it Tony that said he was like he's Nick Fury? He's the spy. His secrets have secrets.
This is a good quote. That is a good quote. I wouldn't think that he had more samples of the
Oh,
blood from the battle.
100%, 1,000%. I guarantee you that he has a supply cache somewhere, some hidden base that only he has a knowledge of, he has access to. Nick Fury has backup plans to his backup plans.
I need to find Nick and talk about where he got the stash at. I need to get my hands on some of this Avengers DNA so I could be all the heroes at once. Baby arm.
Please no. But even on top of all of that, not knowing, whoever he was dealing with in No Way Home,
Gaia? Oh, thought you were
um,
talking about Gaia.
leave Secret Invasion alone. We
Moving
are not
on.
taking on
Moving
Secret.
on.
We are not
Moving on.
talking about the
When
fucking show.
when they retcon it and make it credible, you're gonna remember these
Retcon it
conversations.
and write it out of existence. That's what they need to do.
I wish it was a dream. I wish it was a Nick
I don't
Fury
want it to
dream.
be a dream. I want it to just not exist. I want them to
No,
completely
because
ignore it.
you gotta acknowledge the fact that Rhodey is not a scroll or is a scroll at some point in time. So you gotta, if you make it a dream, then you don't acknowledge that he was a scroll. Then you say, where was he? That means he was actually there versus the nonsense that they did. But again, we're talking about the web here. So go ahead.
Now you got me pissed off about Secret Invasion
Say
all
it.
over
Say
again.
it.
No, because you brought up Secret Invasion and you
You
fucked me
can't
up.
stop getting pissed off at Secret
That's
Invasion. It
why
don't
we
make
don't
no
talk
sense.
about it. That's why I don't
Maria
mention it.
Hill
There's
died for no
no
reason.
reason for us to bring it up. It has nothing to do with this.
They did have great dialogue, Sam Jackson and Don Cheadle. They did have great They killed that scene that they was together both
Yes,
times.
they
I'm
did.
just throwing that out there.
Anyway,
Other than that, the
just
reason I'm saying it because I'm
yeah.
gonna bring this up later on my side.
Okay, you
So
you can have all the fun with your Secret Invasion anecdotes when you get your explanation. But no, I love the movie because it got us to be able to spend more time with Peter and more time with his struggles and watch Peter evolve both literally and figuratively because now he is a different person. He is a different superhero. He has elevated himself to being the mentor that Tony was to him. Basically, he's
who?
trying to Jean. Jean was about to kill Metzger. Had it not been for her diving into his brain, into his mind, and getting real love, real compassion, real empathy,
About to assassinate this movie.
you can do whatever
Yeah.
you want to do. That's not going to
I
change my
want to,
thoughts about it.
and I want to see if you're open to the change of once I share my views on it.
Okay. But long story short, I thought the acting was great. I thought everybody portrayed their roles really well. I thought the action was phenomenal. Them getting their inspiration from the comics, like directly from the comics, as well as from the Spider-Man Insomniac games to basically inspire a lot of the movement that they use in the fight choreography. I thought, as a lover of those games, I thought was just top notch. But yeah, I just thought it was a great Spider-Man movie. It was great to be able to see full facets of Peter and full facets of Spider-Man. I feel like this is the most that we've gotten to be able to balance out both sides of his character all the way to the end of Jean telling him that he needs to choose. Are you going to be Peter Parker or are you going to be Spider-Man? And he's basically coming to terms with everything that he has to where he can confidently say that he is both. And then at the end of the movie, he can introduce himself. He can bring himself to introduce himself to Ned to the point to where they are rekindling their friendship. And then that's where we leave off on it. But this is the I feel like this is the most balanced that we've seen a Spider-Man movie show both sides of the character. So I will turn it over to you, and you can let
Oh,
me know
sure.
why you did not think that the movie was super.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this hot take is the views of Mr. VIP Frankie Washington and Mr. VIP Frankie Washington alone. But I want to see if I can go open up Spider's mind a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I may not get him to totally to convert and take his awesome, super, uh, ruling back, but I want to open up the floor and say this is probably one of the worst Spider-Man movies that they ever made, and
I'm listening.
that has nothing to do with Tom Holland. It has nothing to do with Tom. I don't think it has anything to. It definitely has nothing to do with Zendaya. It does. It doesn't even really have anything to do with Dustin Daniel Cretton,
Okay.
which it kind of does, but then it kind of doesn't. My dealing is this movie is a copycat movie. All the way to Spider-Man 1 and maybe even the most iconic Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock with Tobey Maguire. From the action set pieces to the struggle that he's going through. In fact, I think I even seen our good friend Ryan Erie do a comparison and make the comparisons of how it is very much like Spider-Man 2. I won't go into the nuances of that part, but I'll say this movie has a zero sum ending, meaning nothing was accomplished at all. I hope that one thing
I'm
was
listening.
accomplished, but one thing was accomplished, and I think the thing that everybody will probably say, huh, Spider-Man created the mutant and dampening inhibitor, the ones that's going to go on the back of all the mutants' neck, because again, we're in a mutant saga that's coming up, which is not true. Now, if we rewind it all the way back to X-Men, not Days of Future Past, but any of the X-Men,
Mm-hmm.
go all the way back to the animation, they have these ability dampening collars that goes around a mutant's neck that enables them to have their ability. But that was in the X-Men universe, and we're in the MCU. So okay, I'll take that. Then you see the same collars in Deadpool. Deadpool goes to jail, him and Russell goes to jail, they give him a collar. He said, "Without my abilities, I just got cancer. I'm gonna die. I'm ready to die. So I want to die so I can see Vanessa." That was his whole thing. He didn't want to. He gave up his will to fight. Collars were there, but we say, okay, well, that's in the X-Men universe. Deadpool was in the X-Men universe. He had the brief cameo with the X-Men. That's in the X-Men universe. Okay, that's fine. But if you go to the MCU, there's a scene when I think it was Civil War. They had Wanda locked up in the raft. What a collar dampening device on her neck. It even glowed red. And when I saw that, I was like, who's making these? Like who's Wanda's probably one of the most powerful characters in the MCU, if not the powerful character. She could rewrite reality. But we have a collar dampener for her. One of the most powerful ones. Wow. Never got any backstory on how that was possible. But now we're fast forwarding to the MCU now. I guess we were supposed to forget about that because now Spider-Man is making this collar to enhancing the abilities of mutants, which they're not confirming this, but it'll come down to play later on. We'll see it, and they may pin it on Spider-Man. They may pin it on half of Spider-Man, half Bruce Banner, because he had the mutant. Well, he's trying to control the Hulk with his dampener on his wrist, which
Hmm.
he again created way back after Endgame. It was in Shang-Chi. He transformed back into his human form so his arm can heal. Which, if you're the Hulk, I think your arm would have healed anyway. But that's another story. So I don't like that. I don't like the fact that they're making it seem like this is a new thing that Spider-Man did. Don't do my guy like that.
So,
He didn't create. No, no. By all means, go ahead.
so point of order. So you're saying that you don't like the fact that they're trying to,
Frame Spider-Man.
but who is trying to frame Spider-Man?
It'll come later. You'll see. Because he
But
made
that
the
doesn't have anything to
device.
do with the movie now.
Yes, because he made the device to try to keep his mutation in check.
Okay.
That was the whole conversation that he had with Bruce Banner. I only
Right.
want to keep the good aspects of this mutation. And Bruce was like, how can you tell which part of is the good part? There's no way of telling. It's nature. You're mutating. You're evolving.
Okay.
You
But
don't know which part's the
here's
good part.
also the thing is
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
Bruce said that his inhibitor was specifically targeting gamma radiation in his
Uh-huh.
blood.
In his blood.
Peter wanted to create an inhibitor that would specifically target the arachnid DNA in his system.
Uh-huh.
What Peter did was create an inhibitor that was for all abilities. And that
Mm-hmm.
had not been done before. We don't know what was around
You
Wanda's
don't.
neck. We don't know if that
Yeah,
was
oh my
suppressing.
God.
Well, but what I'm saying is because, like you said, they never mentioned it. They never said anything about it. So we don't know exactly how it was constructed. We don't know exactly what it was suppressing. Was it suppressing her magic or was it suppressing her mutant ability, which are two different things?
Well, they haven't confirmed that Wanda's a mutant, but she probably is.
Well,
But they
she's
haven't
an
confirmed that
enhanced.
yet.
She's enhanced.
Yeah,
So
she's
was it
enhanced.
inhibiting her enhancements or was it inhibiting her magic? We don't know
The
because
whole
they
point
never
of what I'm
explained it.
saying is Spider-Man didn't create what he's going to get framed for creating. It
But
was
you're
already
still
there.
saying that you don't like a movie based off of theories that other people are saying that they haven't confirmed in the movie.
No, what I'm saying is that's for part one. The
Okay.
other thing that I don't like is there's a huge time gap that insults the audience. Me, as an audience member,
Hmm.
Spider-Man knows Frank Castle. How
Right.
long has that situation played out? Spider-Man saved Frank from Staten Island. Who was Frank fighting in Staten Island? If you want us as an audience to follow along your storyline, last time we seen Frank was Punisher's final kill, last kill, special presentation, right?
Hmm.
After he escaped from Kingpin's prison in Red Hook, Red Haven, wherever that was, where he sank the boat and got out. Then laid low and then went on a murdering spree in broad daylight.
Hmm.
He murdered like 30 people. You can say what you want about Little Sicily or whatever you say that, they were so bad the cops wouldn't show up. Those bodies are still there. Like, you can't say there's a guy who was running around grunting and screaming, shooting people in the face. There was nobody went to arrest Frank or nothing. Frank's driving around on the street, broad daylight in a van, chasing a DOC tank. How did he get that information? When did he start chasing the tank? And then Spider-Man swoops in. They know each other. When did that incident happen? How come we were not privy to that? It's a throwaway line. I feel insulted. I feel you don't think that you want to meet when Spider-Man met the Punisher? Of course you do. Those two ideologies differ so much. Spider-Man don't kill. Frank kills.
Hmm.
That conversation between Daredevil and Frank Castle in the Daredevil series was cinema. because you had the two different minds of the legal justice system. They deserve due process. What you're doing doesn't work. I put them down, they stay down, the threat is done. That dynamic in the conversation, let me eat. Let me eat that up. Because that's the conundrum that everybody talks about. It's what makes a hero. It's not just the spectacle of what they're doing, it's the ideology of what they're doing and why they're doing it. We were robbed that. That was right. I didn't like it. I didn't
Okay.
like that part. Next thing on my list, Spider-Man. Your love interest is in trouble. We gotta get us somewhere. Jean Grey is coming. I got you. We're rushing. One of the coolest scenes. We tie up Jean Grey inside her mind hopping. She's inside of the helicopter. Bam. Nobody's around. You got a certain range you can only project your consciousness to. So now you're in this helicopter that webbed you up, going to Mary Jane house. Oh, it's too late. You already there. How? How you got there? Who came around and got you out of this helicopter that's suspended up? And we haven't established how long these webs exist. Did that guy die when the webs dissolved? Go for it. Go, what you got?
So she didn't need somebody to come around to go back into her own mind. She could just let it go. And then from where she is, bounce to whoever she needs to bounce to.
That's horrible.
They explain
And
it in the
you know
movie.
that's horrible.
How's that
I didn't
horrible?
catch it. No, no, it makes sense what you're saying. I'm not saying it don't. I'm just saying I don't think that was fleshed out enough. It
Okay.
wasn't.
Okay.
So now that you done jumped into Mary Jane's body and you're
MJ.
pretending to be
She's not
Mary
Mary
MJ,
Jane.
mistake. I'm sorry. You're right. MJ's body, Michelle Jones. Uh, there was nowhere else outside of Frank's spot you could have took her to. You were literally just talking to Yelena, the leader of the Avengers,
Mm-hmm.
at this current point in time, until we establish who got the name, right? So at least the Avengers. You telling me you couldn't take it to Avengers HQ?
What did Yelena tell him?
It's just small potatoes.
So why do you
It's
think
very
he
small
why do
potatoes.
you think that he would imagine
If
that
it's
she's
small,
going to help him?
if it's small potatoes, that's even better because these potatoes are small. Easy favor. No, no, no problem. I can watch your girlfriend for you because clearly you know. And by the way, making Spider-Man take all his clothes off and get in the hot tub to state that you're not wearing a wire makes no sense if you let him keep his
Well,
mask on.
it wasn't the fact that she was worried about him wearing a wire. She said worried about him having weapons on him.
Yeah, well, she mentioned about having a wire, which the
She
point of
didn't
what
say
I'm
anything about
saying,
a
he
wire.
could. She did say, okay, well, we got to definitely go back and
I'm
watch it
pretty
again
sure she
and add to
said
this box office.
I'm pretty sure
Yes,
she said weapons. I don't think she said anything about
100%.
a wire.
I heard her say wire,
I
have
could be
make
wrong,
have
but
a wire
okay.
on it. But I'm saying he could have had a camera in his mask, a little battery pack behind his ear. Very, very practical, easy to do. Could have had a wire. Could have had a wire and a microphone.
I mean, if she's
She
so
was
worried about him having a wire, then why would she contact him online and they had video conference?
why are she's in the bathhouse anyway? Why isn't she at Avengers HQ?
Because she wanted privacy.
Questions. These questions. The low sum of this movie is a zero sum
Now whose
because
standards are fucking in the stratosphere right now?
they're breathing well up here because it's not making sense, Spider. At the end of the movie, Jean Grey is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Damage control is still there. The
They're being
biggest thing that we
investigated.
were
How? Okay. You think that a government organization is going to be fully dismantled in a day
no,
over what one
no,
division has done?
no. I'm not saying that at all. Damage control is still a threat. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing was done. The point of what I'm
What do you?
saying is,
Okay, okay.
so Spider-Man's mutating.
Mhm.
He's still mutating. There's nothing that has happened that's stopping him from mutating.
He's.
Not only that,
I don't
we
think
don't see
he.
the advancement of his mutation.
Yes, we do.
It's not fully mutated.
He's not.
He hasn't
So
come in.
first of all, he's not mutating. It's basically like adolescence. He's growing up. The puberty, the hormones from the arachnid DNA were causing conflicts with his human DNA. So he was
I
becoming
understand.
more
More
spider-like
spider-like.
because he
Yes.
was having that conflict. It wasn't that he was
Yes.
mutating into a spider. His body was
Yes.
involuntarily exhibiting spider-like habits. So he's not
Understood.
turning more into a spider, but everything that he did when he was fighting the hand was showing off him accepting and integrating his arachnid hormones with his human hormones to become a more powerful person. His webs are more powerful. He's stronger. He's faster. His abilities are showing more than what he was doing before. He's more in control of the abilities that he has.
The stumbling and fumbling the whole beginning of the movie, sure. Okay, I'll accept that. When did he meet the hand? Why isn't he consulting with Daredevil?
They
The
showed
hand is
Daredevil's
the
in jail.
Daredevil. Yeah, he in jail. Was he not? Come on, man. So you're telling me
So wait.
he's
So
fighting ninjas, the hand.
you
He's not going to
are
consult with.
you're
I'm
holding the
disappointed.
movie to standards that are outside of the movie's control. Like the
No, it's
whole
inside of the movie's control. They didn't display it in the movie. So if you're going to have a montage of villains, again, we're thinking this big action scene is going to happen with Scorpion and Spider-Man. We built
who
up from.
no, see now you're holding them to something that was never promised. Just because they showed something in a
Yes.
trailer and in a promotional material
Yes.
doesn't mean that that's exactly. We talked about this before, that they show stuff in trailers that's not exactly in the movie. Just
I'm
because they
not
have a
even going by
scene
the
and
trailer.
okay,
I'm going by the previous movie. Scorpion wants to take out Spider-Man. Then he didn't really take out Spider-Man at all. He was mind controlled to even attack Spider-Man.
they fought in the montage.
Scorpion didn't fight Spider-Man.
Yes, he did.
Jean Grey fought Spider-Man
No,
in
they
Scorpion's
fought
mind.
in the montage. That's what I'm saying. They fought in the
How
montage.
how did he get the suit?
They don't say how you got the suit. They don't say a lot of
Okay,
stuff. If
exactly.
your if
That's
your
what I'm
if your
saying. There's a
complaint
lot of things
if
is
your
they not
complaint
saying
is that there were a
how we
lot of
got here.
things that was not explained as to how they were set up,
Yes,
I understand that. That's fine. There were a
yes.
lot of things that
That's
were
my gripe.
developed off
Griping about
screen.
this.
I know we've always said we want to see more show not tell, but
Yes.
how do you take 4 years and condense that into one movie?
Boom.
Do we have time to show how Scorpion got his suit? How Scorpion got out of jail? Do we have time to show a developing friendship between Frank Castle and Peter Parker? Do we have time to show
Yes.
why the hand is back in New York? Spider-Man fighting
Yes.
the hand being
Yes.
rehabilitated by DODC. We have time for all of
Yes.
that?
I think if you would extend the runtime, you would have had time for all this and
You
the
extend the
right
runtime, you bloat
writer.
the movie. The movie is overbloated, and then
No,
it becomes a
no,
situation that happened with Amazing Spider-Man
no.
2, and you have 5 different villains, and trying to give each and every one of them a full-fledged story, it becomes overbloated.
I'll run it down right now.
Okay.
Hands in the city, right? New
Right.
York. Behind the scenes doing diabolical, devious things. Somehow, Spider-Man comes upon that information. And it could be that the Punisher is looking for the hand. Maybe for whatever reason. I don't know because Punisher is out for, let's just say he's working a new case and he stumbles upon the hand being involved.
Mm-hmm.
So Spider-Man swinging around in the city gets to Staten Island or wherever he saw the Punisher at, swoops in, helps him with the hand. So now, boom, we're on the radar, right? Having DOC recruit the hand as a bodyguards made no sense. Doesn't even should be in there. You should have had somebody else. You could have brought Wonder Man in. Quite honestly, from the Disney Plus show Wonder Man, they had already had their eyes on Wonder Man to bring him in. Bring him in. That connects Wonder Man, Spider Man, Brand New Day. So now you got another, not hero, not villain, but Wonder
You
Man in there.
couldn't bring Wonder Man in
Why not?
because this was already being filmed before Wonder Man got canceled, and Wonder Man left off where he was on the run from the DODC. So unless you're talking about
Yeah,
retconning the end of Wonder Man, that's the only way he would
I'm
be
not talking
brought
about
in.
that. They knew they wanted to bring him in or not, and they could have overlooked because they're the ones that was charging Trevor with the terrorism. It wasn't the American government.
No, I know.
DODC
But what I'm
took
saying
him.
is that, but then that would also be that Wonder Man would have to be willingly working with them.
Yes.
Why
Especially
would
because
he?
they knew they were going to cancel goddamn Weatherman
They
season
didn't
two.
know. You can't put that on Spider Man. You can't put that
I'm
on a
not putting it
movie.
on Spider Man. I'm putting it on Disney Marvel.
But that's
If
that
they can get it together,
Disney Marvel canceling Wonder Man has nothing to do with Dustin Daniel Cretton's story. They can't bring in Wonder
I'll
Man if
I'll give
Wonder
you
Man
that.
doesn't fit into their story.
I'll give you that. But at the same time, what we were was robbed of these introductions. So him fighting the hand, okay, you're not gonna go visit Daredevil and get any advice about the hand, which again, Daredevil probably would have been like, am I gonna break out and go deal with the hand or I'm gonna stay in jail?
And why would he go to Daredevil? Because
Because the
Peter,
hand is
but
Daredevil's
Peter has no knowledge that
villain.
Daredevil
Daredevil
knows
is in
anything about the
jail.
hand. No, he probably knows that he's in jail, but what knowledge does he have that Daredevil knows how to deal with the hand or what his experience with the hand? Everything that the hand
He's
did
a
in the
lawyer.
Netflix series was all in the shadows, so it wasn't public knowledge. So Peter wouldn't have
And
any.
how does he even know the hand? He
He fought him
identified the hand like, what are they doing here?
because he fought him.
Oh,
They
they're my
showed it in a
bodyguard.
montage.
You don't feel like that's lazy writing? You
I
don't feel like that's
I
lazy?
don't. I
You
don't
don't
feel like I was robbed out of anything. I don't feel like
wow.
I don't feel like I'll put it this way. I would have loved to see more of Peter and Frank together. Having I don't think we need to go all the way back to when they first met because
Mm,
I'm sure that it was established that they met before the whole Staten Island thing. But being able to see what happened on in Staten Island, even if it was just a flashback when they brought it up the first time, I think would have done a lot to build on to their relationship. So I will agree with you on that. But I don't feel like we were robbed, or I don't feel like I was robbed of that scene. I would have loved to have it.
definitely got robbed.
I would have loved to
Gotta
have
agree
it,
with
but
you.
I don't think that it took anything away from the movie not having it.
Also, if they took Jean Grey's sister's abilities, or at least some of it, partial of it, and I'm thinking that's what they used to actually get the hand to work for them, I would like to have
I don't
seen
think
some of
so.
that.
I don't. I
Oh,
don't. I don't think that
well, that's what they
there was
said.
any. No, there was no inclination that they use mind control abilities in order to get the hand to work for them. I'm pretty sure they
There's
were
no
just
way the
paying them.
hand. I doubt that seriously. Their
You
hand is already. Again, you just said they're operating in shadows. They don't need the DODC's finances. They can. They're criminals. They rob
they
people
were
in
a subsect,
organizations.
a group that split off from the larger organization of them, working as
So
mercenaries
that.
for the
So
DODC.
that's the. So that's the finger. That's not the hand. Then.
I mean, essentially,
Basically, that's the
basically,
pink.
yeah,
That's the.
it's a
They could
thumb.
call it the
It's a
pinky.
thumb. It's the palm. It's not the hand. It's the
Yeah,
palm. It's just
we
the
got a
palm.
little bit of the palm, you know what I'm
Just the
saying? We
middle
got a little
part.
bit of palm. There's a lot of stuff that they left out, and I think they shouldn't have left it out. And that don't make any sense for them to have left it out. Hulk's not in jail. Hulk's at the hospital.
Who said Hulk was in
Hulk,
jail?
no, no, I'm just saying the dude destroyed a government building.
Yeah,
So his
and
biggest question
if
was,
they
"Is
know
anybody
that,
hurt? Did I hurt anybody?"
yeah,
And he's going to the hospital.
yeah,
Don't get me wrong. You're not about to arrest the Hulk anyway. And more than likely, he's fine. He don't need to go to the hospital. He's probably healed. But the point is, Hulk's back. I think everybody's like, Hulk's back. Is he though? Is he really back? It's not. He's the same Hulk. The only difference is you saw a version of Smart Hulk, and then you saw that there's a Savage Hulk inside of that Hulk who gets bigger than the other Hulk.
mm-hmm.
But after he get released from the hospital, he's probably going back to work as a professor.
So
Zero sum. Nothing changed. It's
I
not like the
mean,
Hulk's on a rampage running around somewhere he needs to be stopped. Not the point of what I'm saying, nothing happens in this movie. He still doesn't tap out to his whatever abilities that he's
he
growing
is though.
into.
He is.
He's not
It's
tapped out. They said it in the trailer and even in the movie. There's three evolution stages. He's just on stage one.
no, this is not stage one. Stage one was him getting bit in the first place.
Okay, I'll give you that. He's still on stage two.
But you're saying that he's not tapped into his abilities when he's shown off his abilities when he was fighting a hand.
I'm not saying that he doesn't have new abilities. He has new organic webs. Again, Tobey Maguire. There was no reason to give Tom Holland organic webs unless you're gonna do the he's better than Toby regard. Now he's stronger than Toby, right? His webs are stronger than Toby's. His agility is more than Toby's,
You
more than
are, I
Andrew's.
think you are putting way too much emphasis in the story of this movie and comparing it to everything else that's been established.
They did that. They did that with the comparison of everything that they did prior to this movie and including it in this movie. And they didn't have to. They could have
I
took
feel like
our
other
thing
than
for this
him saying
generation.
Peter 2 had organic webs, Peter two's cool, you're cool. Outside of that and the scene of him trying to learn how to use those webs, yes, that is an
Exactly.
homage.
He went to
That,
the roof.
but here's
Yep.
the thing. Here's the thing. This movie
Hmm.
is, like I said, a love letter to everything that has come before it. They're paying
I was
homage to the previous iterations of Spider-Man. The suit.
I was waiting for him to say my back. I was just waiting for him to say it. My back. My back.
So
I was
you don't
like,
like the
this is a
callbacks. You don't like them paying homage to the previous movies.
I can respect it. I think it was heavy handed in this. Way heavy handed. Like
Okay.
a lot of heavy handed.
Okay.
If you would have squint your eyes, you would have thought it was Toby.
No.
Because this new suit was made in homage to
It was,
Toby's and Andrew's suit.
yes. Because you every suit that you've had so far outside of your like hoodie and goggles has been given to you by Tony Stark. This is your
Uh-huh.
first suit that you've made
Uh-huh.
your own. Yeah, I'm going to look at the my other counterparts from different universes and
Uh-huh.
they came and they helped me. I want to be like them. So I'm making my
Mm-hmm.
suit like theirs.
Mm-hmm. What's the happening with the inconsistency of the AI?
What do you mean
She's
inconsistency?
there, she's not there, she's there, she's not there.
He's I don't see what inconsistency you're
He
talking
has
about.
the AI in this suit
Yes, he does.
and he use it.
Yeah.
I guess he use it when it's convenient for him. He don't use it
He
when it's not convenient for him.
he uses it when he needs to. Isn't that with any assistant?
Mm.
I mean, you have Hey Google on your phone. It's not always talking to you every single second of the day, is it?
It is not, but what I'm saying is if it's there and we're going to use it, let's use it.
I mean,
If there's no
it's
need
the
for it,
same
why is it
thing
there?
as it's the same thing as Jarvis. Tony wasn't talking to Jarvis every single second that he was in the suit.
I'm not saying he has to talk to him every time, talk to her every time, talk to it every time. I'm saying there was an inconsistency in using it. That's all I'm saying.
I
This movie
I
has a
don't
zero sum
I don't
in saying nothing has changed.
I have to
Spider-Man has not. Oh
fully
yeah,
disagree with your synopsis of this
Spider-Man is
because
the
it's
same as the end of the movie that he is at the beginning of the movie,
he's
outside of
not.
his new
He's
abilities
not.
that he has. He got
He's
sticky webs that come out of his wrist that he's grossed out by, that are stronger, but no matter how strong it is, the DODC has made a weapon to make that go like confetti.
no, but not
So,
it don't.
damn.
Not, the weapons are ineffective against his organic webs. They don't know the genetic makeup of his webs, so they would have to reinvent those guns in order for them to be effective against him.
He'll have an opportunity in a new Spider-Man.
I mean,
I'm sure
even
they'll
still.
have one out
Okay,
in the next
so
2 years.
you say that nothing happened. What about the
Nothing happened.
emotional, personal story of Peter Parker's journey? Is he
I will
still in the
give you
same
that.
is he still in the same place that he was when he started?
No, because he was sad, lonely, and depressed when he started. It goes to show you he's falling off of skyscrapers and swinging. It- it's not the Spider-Man do a flip type of situation. But I'm happy he got his friends back. I'm sad that he didn't get his love interest back. She done moved on with this loser, whoever this loser is that she done moved on with.
But
Rumor
has
has
she
it
moved
is
on?
he's the boomerang. No, she remembers, and I could tell she remembers because why else would you go to the roof, hang out, and feel on your black dahlia necklace?
I mean,
She
she
remembers.
was on the roof regardless. They show that
Not the
in
same roof that she
yeah,
was on in high school.
yeah. Because everything about her memories, everything happened the same way it happened. It's just that Peter was not there. So her being on the roof with Ned, it was it was her being on the roof with Ned instead of it being the three of them on the roof. Every single thing that she has experienced, she still experienced. Is just that
Mm-hmm.
Peter was not there in all of her memories. But to your point, why is she feeling on the Black Dahlia necklace? My theory is that there is an inkling of familiarity, something that's probably like
Yes.
nagging at the back of her mind that she can't really figure out. But like she said, she has no memories. Even Jean said there's no memories of him in there at all. So
Mm-hmm.
whether it's coming back after Jean took over the, full kilometer of people within the city, it's yet to be seen. But there is something there.
So Jean's on the run now, I guess, and we're waiting for Professor Xavier to come recruit her to be a part of the X. Na 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 na.
I mean, that depends on
People
how they
in
tell the
this
story
now.
after that.
Mm,
And
I'm sure they'll
you
leave
don't
out a
like that
lot of
either.
holes. Listen,
It's
I
not the
came for
same
the
right.
experience.
It's not the same writer. It's not the same director. You don't know what's going to happen with the X-Men movie. But
I'm not gonna put the cart before the horse.
you
I'm talking
can't
about
fit
Brand New Day
everything.
and all the
I
Swiss
understand.
cheese holes that's in here.
You can't fit everything into one movie.
Spider, that's the challenge, to fit the most cohesive story into the time frame of the movie that you have. You have to deem what's important, and I think the stuff that they took out was important for the average go. Now, if you're a fan of Marvel and the lore, and nope, I won't even say that. You still want to see the introduction of the heroes. Did they fight when they met? Did they not fight when they met? Because the classic trope is we have to assess each other's power set. That's what made what's the one, Far From Home, No Way Home, sorry, No Way Home, that good. You saw Spider-Man fight Doctor Strange and win using math. That's crazy. One of the best scenes. We don't get that. We don't get
Hmm.
that with a Punisher. In the fight with,
You think that was one of the best scenes of that movie?
wow, wow, wow. The whole interaction between them when he pushes the astral form out of his
That
body.
was impressive. The fight after
Yes.
that was a CGI fest of trains and spirals that visually didn't look great.
I'm going to disagree with that because, again, we talked about this in movie tropes. There's only so many places you can go with moving cars, moving trains, moving buses, hallway fights. See, there's only so many places that you're going to have these fights, and you got to get creative with it. I think the fact that they was able to go to the mirror dimension, you're on a train, but the train's off the tracks, it's flying in the air, the world is collapsing on itself. That was pretty creative.
I thought the
And
concept
then,
was creative. I felt like that train was unnecessary.
and we can agree or disagree. But what I'm saying in this, we were robbed that, and it just felt like nothing. It felt like nothing. Okay, so it's almost like the end of the Thunderbolts. Yes, we have a so powerful, omnipotent God in Bob in Century, but he just needs a hug. Just give him a hug and tell him it's gonna be okay. And we have a Hulk that can literally pull fire from his hands. But if we just talk to him and tell him to look at the cherry blossoms, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. He'll calm down. It's like, what are we doing? Like, get this whole high climax, and then this the bottom falls out. So now Jean Grey is on the run, or she's just gone. Maybe she's not on the run. And here's the thing about it: Jean Grey is really not the villain of this story. She's not.
No.
You kidnapped my sister and
Who's calling
murdered
her
her.
the villain?
No, I'm just saying there's no villain. I guess the Department of Damage Control is supposed to be the villain, but
Yeah.
you need then I feel like that should be a Captain America movie because anytime you got a government official that's a government agency,
Yeah, but
get the political side.
there's been multiple heroes that have fought the same villain. So it's not specific to just any one hero. DODC was kind of New York wide. So Miss Marvel had to deal
Got you.
with them. She-Hulk had
I
to deal
got
with
you.
them. Wonder Man has
Yep.
to deal with them. So
Yep. There,
I,
there are the approaching, and some people have said that they're going to turn into the mutant hating friends of humanity, or something along those lines,
possibly.
uh, for the mutants, and I can see it. But at the same time, at the end of it, they're still there, not touched. They're going to be a threat
It's not that they're not
long.
touched.
They will be a threat.
Just because we don't know what the future holds for DODC doesn't mean that what they were doing now has not stopped.
Well, it's not. Can't
So
stop. Won't kick
so
back.
here's what I'll say, that we don't know what they're going to do in the future, but we also don't know
But we know they
exactly
will
the
do
rent.
something
How do we know that they will do something?
because they're not dismantled. They're not. They're still a Department of Damage Control.
Right. But if the people who are responsible for rounding up enhanced individuals and testing on them are now being investigated for crimes against humanity, if that's being stopped, then the threat that they currently are
But we don't
posing.
know if that's being stopped.
Right. So, but since we don't know that it's not being stopped, we also don't know that it is being stopped. So all I'm saying is that, yes, the DLDC
Touche.
is, well, what I'm saying is that you can't say that they won't be a threat, and you can't say that they will be a threat. Either side of the coin, it's up in the
What
air.
happened to Esker? Mesker? What
He's
happened to
missing.
Mesker?
He's missing.
As in not arrested, as in not dead.
Okay. But also, even
So
if
he
he
can
was
easily
arrested or
call
dead,
shots from the shadows.
I don't think he can.
You don't think he can?
Because it's not like
What?
he was the director of DODC, a position that can easily be appointed to somebody else. So it's
Right.
not like he is the head of a crime family to where he goes into hiding, but he's still calling the shots. If he's not in that position, he has no power. Those people were not loyal to him and only him. They were loyal to him as he was their boss. He's gone, he's on the run. He's no longer the director of DODC.
So you think because he's not there that their mission statement is going to change?
I'm
You
not
think
saying
someone's going
that,
to come in with the
and that's my point. Depending on what happens with the investigation, Their mission statement may change. Yes. Their actions may change. Yes. Will Metzger's ambitions change? We don't know because we don't know if what he was doing was because of his own self interest or if it was because of DODC. So him being on the run,
DODC is an issue. They're going to be an issue.
right? But
In every
here's the
iteration,
thing.
they were an issue.
So one of the things that we've
And
talked
Metzger wasn't
about
always that. Go ahead.
one of the things that we've talked about in previous superhero movies was that there
Hmm.
is no longevity because these heroes kill their villains in every movie. So we'll never see
Hmm.
Ironmonger, we'll never see Whiplash, we'll never see,
Hmm.
well, we might see Dark Elves again, I don't know. But all of
I'm
these,
trying to see Sam Rockwell come back as goddamn Hammer, but it don't make no sense if Tony Stark's gone. So
right. But for all of these heroes who killed off their villains, there's no more story to tell with those. A government entity, like I said, you can't dismantle a government organization just in
overnight.
one movie, one story. So regardless of what Peter did, the DODC was still going to be there because that's not something that you can just single-handedly
I
take
don't know
down.
that.
You
I
really?
don't know that.
You think that
If you
he
have the
can go
FBI,
in?
hold on. If
Okay.
you have the FBI comes in and then you see them shredding documents, and all of a sudden they tell them stop shredding that lets you know they're taking that whole organization down. Show it, don't tell it. They come
That
in,
still doesn't mean
stop.
that. That still doesn't mean that. How many times have we seen that happen and then the organization still comes back?
I don't recall seeing it happen and having an organization come back.
Just
Name one time that has happened.
Hydra.
I know who.
Hydra. They thought that
Hydra said if you
they thought that they
Hydra
dismantled
said
Hydra when they got
Hydra said if you cut off one head, two more will take its place. It
yeah,
said that.
and they killed Red Skull in the first Avenger. They thought they were done with Hydra, only for them to come back in Civil War. And also, they thought it was done because they got rid of the what was it called? Whatever the project that they were trying to
Helicarriers,
take. What was it?
Pegasus.
Yeah, Project Pegasus. They thought they were done with that. And then they still come back in Age of Ultron. Hydra is still there. So no matter how many times they think that they take Hydra out, Hydra is still lurking in the shadows because you cannot dismantle an entire organization just by taking out a few key players. They can
But
remove
Hydra said
Metzger,
that's in their mission statement.
but
You
even
you
still,
think you closing one? That's why Captain America said it all goes. It all has to go.
it
Shield,
does, but it
Hydra,
never
because
did.
he couldn't tell who was what.
And it never
I mean,
did.
Shield is dismantled. It's now Sword. They're
And
now in space.
it's the same thing under a different name.
You think Hydra's in the Sword base?
I wouldn't put it past them.
Wow.
They infiltrated Shield. Why wouldn't they be able to infiltrate Sword?
Because they took the whole organization down.
Did
Even
they though?
Marie, even what's her name? The power broker, Agent Carter,
Uh huh.
the power broker. Even she had to get another job after they took it down. Maria Hill had to get another job. Everybody, it was taken down. The whole
Oh,
organization was
Shield was
taken
taken
down.
down. Yes, but still,
That's what I'm saying.
that doesn't mean that Hydra is still not in there somewhere.
You're saying it's not possible to show taking down a government organization. I'm
I'm
sharing that
saying
it's
that it's not
possible to show that.
possible. I'm saying that it's not possible to take down a government organization after one action.
Crashing three helicarriers in Washington, they shut that shit down. Same movie.
But that doesn't mean that Hydra is done.
I ain't talking about Hydra. I'm talking about
That's what I'm talking
Shield
about.
is a government agency.
Yeah, but Shield as a government agency has been reworked into Sword. So it's not that they did away with Shield. They just repurposed it, moved it to a different location, and now they're
We're
still the same thing.
we're honestly saying the same thing because I think that's what damage control is going to happen. They're going to repackage it
No,
into a mutant registration
you're
act.
saying that nothing happened because DODC is still a threat. I'm saying that
Still
they're
a threat.
still a threat because you can't take out an entire organization in one movie. If that is not the case, as in my main goal, my main purpose, the plot of this movie is the dismantling of DODC, then we would have seen the dismantling of DODC. That wasn't the intent. The intent was to get Jean safe. The intent was for Peter to make up for his
Jean was
mistake.
never not safe. Spider-Man brought Jean straight to the DODC. She was never in danger. She
She,
was trying to get there in the first place. You
right,
delivered her to where she was trying to go.
safe in the sense as she's not about to kill this man, and in the eyes of superhero storytelling, forever corrupt herself.
Should
That's
have
what he
killed her.
was saving her from.
Whatever. You murdered my sister. Everybody died. Everybody in this room going to,
That's how
hey, you
you
locked me up?
feel. That's how you
Oh
feel.
my, half of New York would have died. What are you talking about? Elena would have been in that hot tub like this. Every, everybody would have died. What
So
are you
you
talking
think
about? You
it
killed my sister?
so you think that letting her kill Metzger was the way to go.
Yes. Not only does that, I know what you're about to say. It's the same thing like when if Mystique would have killed Oliver Trask in Days of Future Past, it would have started a whole mutants need to be on leashes type of thing. But the truth is, he captured her, kidnapped her sister,
Mm-hmm.
experimented on her, and killed her for her abilities. Justified killing. If Punisher could kill 35 people in Little Sicily just for being on the street, Gene has every right to go kill one guy. Sorry, that's how I feel.
Okay.
You started it. You shouldn't have stole her sister and experimented on her. So Spider-Man might have been the hero saying, and again, if we would have had that conversation with Punisher and Spider-Man, and
Which
Punisher
conversation?
saying, if Punisher could figure out that Jean's coming to kill Mesker, right? This could have been in a movie. And Punisher is agreeing with Jean. Now you have Spider-Man as an opposing side to not kill Mesker based off we don't kill, that's wrong, right? Punisher's like, nah, that motherfucker deserved to die. You capture her sister, experimenter, and maybe Jean doesn't kill Mesker. Punisher does. Ooh,
So
that's good.
okay, with that theory,
That's good.
how
That's
would
saucy right there.
Peter have known that her sister was killed prior to him going to try to get Jean out of DODC custody? When would
Put it
that
early
inform?
in the movie. You put it early in the movie.
Well,
You
if you
don't
put it
save it to the
early in the
third act.
movie, if you put it early in the movie, then Peter would have never turned her over in the first place.
Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That's the part that you hung up on. So if Jean's looking for DODC
Mm-hmm.
because she's looking for her sister,
Right.
remember Jean's trying to get in there. She's taking tanks and everything else. She's trying to get in there. Spider-Man comes along the way and she's like, "What's up, Spider-Man?" Because she really didn't have no beef with Spider-Man at all. So you kind of panicking talking about, I gotta stop her. She a threat. She a threat to who? DODC, yes.
To
But she wasn't
innocent
attacking
people.
everybody.
She was driving a tank through the streets, not caring who she
With the
hits, who she runs over.
DOC name on it. She was doing bad PR for
Okay,
them.
so you saying that she's absolved of everything that she did because she wasn't the one doing it. She was just controlling the other people that were doing it.
For the people not, yeah, she's using them for puppets. I got it.
But
I got that
it's
part.
not Jean's fault.
Listen, I ain't saying her tactics
The
are
dude that
correct.
the construction guy that she made walk backwards into traffic and he got mowed over by a cab. She's not responsible for that.
I'm not saying that she's not trying to get her point done. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in her actions, as wild as they are, she felt justified.
I'm sure
That's what
every
I'm saying.
villain feels justified. Everyone who's doing
He's not the
anything, I
villain.
understand that, but everyone who is going after their objective, they feel justified in their methods to be able to get their goal. But there was no reason for her to kill that guy.
This conversation better than Spider-Man and Brand New Day.
That's your opinion,
Spider
and I'll let you have your
Spider-Man
opinion.
has Spider-Man upgrades his abilities, and that's the whole movie. That Spider-Man has new upgraded abilities. That's it. At the end of the day, Frank Castle still on the loose. Jean Grey still on the loose. Mesker still on the loose. Hulk still on the loose. Maybe Zendaya remember. Maybe MJ remembers. Ned remembers. That's it. That's and Scorpion's back in jail. Maybe the hand still free. Boomerang was fought, but maybe he's in jail. Maybe he's not. And then Ned has a fighting tracker. That's your movie. That's it.
You
Nothing. There's nothing that you
seriously
know how in the you know
downplaying.
how in
You're
Civil
downplaying
War
the. Yeah, go ahead.
there's stakes. Things happen at the end of it. There's ramifications. Tony and Cap fell out. They're not friends no more, which
Hmm.
breaks up the Avengers. There's ramifications that comes later on. The Avengers are divided. Hulk's gone, Thor's gone. These two not talking to each other. Black Widow's on a run. Clint's retired. Like it's all kind of things going on.
Right.
Spider-Man, I understand, self-contained. We might don't want to include everything. It don't have to be a world-shattering event, but you got world-shattering characters in here. You got the Hulk in here.
Hmm.
Hulk's out. Yeah, the Hulk's back. Okay, but we didn't give the Hulk anything to do. He fights Spider-Man, but nobody wants to see the Hulk beat the shit out of Spider-Man. We'd rather see the Hulk fight Wolverine
But this is not a.
and let that better.
It's
I
not.
know, I know. I'm just saying what the fans would like to see and
Okay.
make that rated R. But
This
nobody want to see. And then
98%
and then
disagree, but okay.
no, because then if when did the Hulk beat Spider-Man? One of the biggest contentions is it's me. It's Spider-Man. I'm your
It's
friend.
Peter.
It's Peter. So
Right.
now Hulk knows Peter. When did that happen? Because Hulk
Because
and Smart Hulk are not the same. So you can't say it happened at the funeral.
no, it didn't happen at the funeral, but Hulk is always there. Hulk is always present. Hulk is not
Oh,
in
we can't do
existence.
that.
Why we
We
can't?
can't do that.
Well,
Because in Ragnarok, we already
okay.
established
So
that
so let me ask a
Bruce was
question.
locked in the trunk.
So let me ask a question.
Sure.
When Bruce said he got in Avengers 2012, he said, I got low. I tried to end it. I put a
Yeah.
gun in my mouth,
Yeah.
shot
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other guy spit it out.
Spit it out.
If he's not currently Hulk, he's Bruce Banner. And you're talking about a gunshot, split second. And we see how long it takes for him to transform into Hulk. So
Mhm.
you mean to tell me that he shoots himself, tries to kill himself, and Hulk, even though he's not present, he can't physically spit the bullet out then? Hulk is
I'm
there.
not saying that.
Hulk is always there.
So if we're going to establish there's two minds and the memory spell erase Bruce Banner's mind,
Mm-hmm.
but not the Hulk's mind.
Right?
So the Hulk knows Peter Parker, Bruce Banner doesn't. And he clearly said, you're not one of my students. No, I'm not. So he doesn't know Peter Parker, but the Hulk knows Peter Parker.
Yeah. Savage Hulk had been suppressed up until that point.
When did they meet? You're saying they didn't have to meet. He always knew him. Then explain how the memory spell worked on one brain and not the other brain.
Because the other brain is not, it's like Hulk, Savage Hulk, not Smart Hulk, Savage Hulk. is deep in Bruce's subconscious.
Subconscious.
So if you have a memory spell that's wiping the consciousness of all individuals who knew that Peter Parker is Spider Man.
You know what this would have been better at? In the fucking movie.
But
Instead of leaving it
how
up
do
for
you
debate.
explain that and fit that in the movie? Who's going to explain that?
I can. I can.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I can. I can explain it. I'm not gonna do it right now because that's not fair. They had all this time to be able to gather those resources to explain those things, and it's not clearly defined anywhere that that's the reality of it all. We're just going off that because that makes sense, and I can accept it making sense because we're logical people.
Hmm.
But if you are the general audience, that doesn't make sense to you. That doesn't come across to you. If you're explaining that to somebody and say this is how it makes sense, they could disagree with that. I don't have to disagree with it because again, I'm here for the enjoyment of it. But I'm saying there are things that they could have put in this movie that would have made the movie top tier. It would have made it super. It would have made it one of the best Spider-Man movies they ever made.
I mean,
Instead of, I think they made it one
based
of the
on the
worst.
numbers, a lot of people
Based on
think
a
that it is.
time out, time out.
Uh huh.
Spider-Man is loved. I don't think there's anybody that dislikes Spider-Man.
Hmm.
He's one of the most widely accepted heroes of all time. When you talk about iconic heroes, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man,
I wouldn't put Wonder Woman up there,
Spider.
but okay.
Okay, for the women like Wonder Woman, they like Wonder Woman.
I feel like women are fans of other female heroes more than they're fans of
Like
Wonder
Harley
Woman.
Quinn. It's really not a
Probably.
lot that they can. The Harley Quinn's not a hero though.
In some instances, she is. Anti-hero, vigilante.
Anti-hero, yes.
Yeah, but I mean,
So
it's
is Deadpool.
still it falls into that same category.
Saying people love Spider-Man. So they were gonna come out for droves anyway because they love Spider-Man.
Okay, but then how do you explain it being the biggest opening of all of the Spider-Man
Because
movies?
people love Spider-Man.
Okay, so why wasn't No Way Home that big of an opening when there was the promise? Everybody knew. Anybody who knew anything about No Way Home knew that all three Spider-Men were going to be in that movie, regardless of how many times they lied, regardless of how many times they showed the
He
trailer
is
and they
not
weren't
the
in the trailer.
werewolf.
What?
Andrew Garfield said he's not the werewolf. He's not in that. I'm just
But
remembering the press.
even still, anybody who had any interest in going to see No Way Home knew that it was going to be all three Spider-Man in that movie. You're bringing these villains back from the previous movies. So you're talking about multiverse theory and you're not going to have all the Spider-Mans in it? Ain't no way. So everybody is going to go see, if as many people that love Spider-Man, everyone's going to go see No Way Home. Brand New Day blew No Way Home out of the water. Brand New Day is rated higher by critics than No Way Home. People love this movie. It is not just because it's a Spider-Man movie, because there are Spider-Man movies
Because
that have not done well. People still
oh,
say
we don't.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 sucks.
I'm not saying it sucks in that regard because Amazing Spider-Man 2 is not that great, but that has nothing to do with Andrew Garfield. It just
And I mean,
that
even this, all I'm saying is that
has nothing to do with Tom Holland. Tom Holland. Tom Holland's a great Spider-Man, and I want to go on record for saying that. And I started by saying this. I don't think it was him. It's definitely not Zendaya. It has nothing to do with Jacob Elbalon. It has nothing to do.
it's the
I think it has a
writers.
little do.
You're saying
I
it's the
think it's the
writers.
writers. I think it's the story that dropped the ball on this.
Okay.
And it's good enough to be a Spider-Man story. I'm not taking anything away from his struggles as Spider-Man, but you didn't really see any struggles. You saw him dealing with sensory overload. He doesn't have a job. He's full-time Spider-Man. How's he paying his rent? Rent? How's he paying his rent? We don't go into any of that. Aunt May died. He's going to the funeral. He's buying flowers. He's buying flowers all the time. Where are you getting that money from?
And you're talking about copying the other movies.
Mhm.
So you're already saying that we're already taking too much from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Heavy handed,
And so if we went
heavy
into the
handed.
whole rent angle as well, are you
Oh,
not
people
also
would have
saying that that would be also pulling
the
from the
heavy
movie?
handed is for me. I'm saying this again. These are my views. People would have ate that up too because it's like, yeah, that's real. How you gonna pay rent, Spider Man? Because that's what makes Spider Man relatable. That's what people love about Spider Man. He's not a billionaire. He's
Yeah.
dumpster diving to get parts. And again, is he dumpster diving to get these parts? He got some advanced gear. He got AI. So we're
And
back to dumpster diving.
we see him building it all himself.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he didn't. Where to get the money for it?
If you want to
We
see the
didn't
man
establish.
struggle,
I don't. Yes,
I feel
that's
like
you.
that's
Literally just
okay. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Look,
you literally started the podcast saying everybody want to see him struggle.
I'm talking about emotionally. I'm not talking about financially. But here's the thing.
Oh,
I know this is a coverall and it's a cop out to explain shit. But have you
what you
ever
got?
have you ever entertained the thought this is
That Spider Man selling feet pics.
I mean, you saw when he was in the hot tub, they just kind of came up out of nowhere. So it's not outside the realm of possibilities. But this is multiverse theory, right?
Okay.
We have not had one mention of Uncle Ben for Tom Holland Spider
No,
Man.
no.
Outside of, I think, his briefcase when he was going to Europe in Far From Home had Uncle Ben's initials on the briefcase. But other than
Okay.
that, no mention of Uncle Ben. Not even at the cemetery, buried next to May. No headstone for Uncle Ben. Nothing. Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Multiverse theory. This is a universe where Spider-Man inherited money from Tony Stark, or Peter Parker, I should say, inherited money from Tony Stark, inherited money from Aunt May. He's got money from somewhere. I'm not saying that that's exactly what
But
happened. And
nobody
yes,
knows who Peter Parker is, and
I
all of that information went away when the spell hit.
the fact that they don't explain where he gets the money from. I see that as a whole. Yes, I agree with you on that. But it also doesn't factor into the story of what he's going through right now. So adding financial troubles on top of the emotional weight, on top of having to deal with his powers going crazy, on top of having to deal with somebody going into the minds of other people. You're talking about having too much in a movie and making things over bloated, putting that in there and having that be a contributing factor to everything else that he's having to deal with. You have to rewrite the entire movie
They
because
should
now the
have.
things that
Yeah,
he does, he may not be able to do because he doesn't have money.
they should have rewrote it. This how I would have spent. Spider. Let me give you my pitch on the a new day with
Okay,
Spider-Man.
we'll hear your pitch and then we'll wrap up.
Okay, okay. One, bring Black Cat in. It's time.
Okay.
It's time. Bring her in. And Spider-Man's investigating these robberies that's going on, doing Spider-Man shit, low to the ground, not an Avengers level threat.
Mm-hmm.
So he's now catching with Black Cat. And you can still have the mutating evolution of his powers because he's trying to keep up and the web situation, he's swinging out of control, whatever, whatever. So she's a love interest. Now, she's flirting with him, but he's still caught up on MJ.
Mm-hmm.
Start to get to a point where he's starting to get interested, but still with MJ. So now the conundrum is, do I continue to try to pursue my love interest who doesn't remember me, who does not want anything to do with me, but she's not turned off by the idea. She's kind of open to it, but still in all, I don't know you, my guy. Now, that's the love interest side. So Black Cat still robbing people, right?
Hmm.
If you want to put the DODC in there, fine. They could be looking to try to capture Black Cat. Fuck, she could even be a double agent working for the DODC, right? If you're going to have Frank Castle in there, I need the introduction. We need to see what happened. And again, Frank could be investigating another crime family that has something to do with his family getting killed because there's always one last kill. It's kind of like Memento. You always think there's another guy, but that guy is the guy you kill. You just got something wrong with your loopy, and so you keep killing people. And so Spider-Man intervenes and like, hey, you can't kill these guys. You got to stop. And then Frank maybe almost kills him, but they again have that conversation. Hit Spider-Man with a shrink dart, which is very odd for him to have, but sometimes he needed information. So it's not like Frank never interrogates people. And then they have that conversation about why he kills, again, kind of feeling like Daredevil, but now you get Spider-Man's perspective of it, not with the legal side, but just with the humanitarian side. Like, that we don't kill. That'd have been great. Now, if you want to give them, let's let's use the villains that's Spider-Man villains. We still got the Tinkerer that's unaccounted for, who can have given Matt Gargan the suit because we have no idea where the suit came from. We could have said we're trying to avenge Vulture, still in the Spider-Man mythos. We don't know where Vulture is. Acknowledge that he's in the Sonyverse. It has something to do with Spider-Man, I think. But there's still a crew there. The new Shocker, the new uh Scorpion now with the suit, and they may be doing some petty stuff. They may be an upstanding organization that they're trying to take down as well, and Spider-Man has to take it down. I'm not saying a full Sinister Six, but just with those guys right there and take them down at the end. Spider-Man doesn't prevail in this. There's no victory. He stops somebody from getting killed, but the guy's still out there. He didn't get arrested or nothing. There's a zero sum. So if he stopped Scorpion, put him back in jail, get the Tinkerer this time because the Tinkerer never went to jail, and whoever else was, maybe the Shocker's back, bring in another Spider-Man villain, have a hint of the Sandman getting created. Or if you don't want to touch the Sandman because it was already in the last movie, that's fine. That's great. Spider-Man has a huge rogues gallery of villains that we can have getting developed in the background, which propels the franchise forward. And now he conquers his new abilities. He catches Black Cat, which exposed the DODC. You can still have them under investigation. MJ starts to remember who Peter is.
Why would she?
Ned even, well, we can go into that in further detail. Again, I gotta have time. This is off the cuff. This is off the cuff, but I could tell I got your interest
I
more than
mean,
Brand New Day.
it's I wouldn't say that, but
Yeah,
if you're wanting to flesh out a whole
well,
entire movie, you still have holes in
oh,
that too.
well, again, I haven't had 2 years to develop it like they did. They had 2 years. I don't only been what 10 minutes. Pretty good for 10 minutes though. It's interesting, is it not?
I still feel like you're
It's
bringing
seven.
you're bringing in all of these extra characters and trying to develop these entire stories with introductions and conflicts and resolutions. You're looking at a 3.5 to 4 hour runtime on a movie. You have to cut
First of
stuff.
all, first of all, ain't nobody complaining about a 3.5 hour movie with Spider-Man in it. I know that for a fact.
if
We
it's
love
if it's
Spider-Man.
if it's bloated and it looks like that is just filled to meet a time mark, then yeah,
I
people are gonna have
agree
a
with
problem with
that.
that.
I agree with that. But I'm saying it's not that. It's fleshed out with a complete story that's character driven, so you can understand that, man, this black cat likes Spider-Man, and now he's starting to kind of like her too. But it's hard for MJ. and he really want to be with MJ. So the conflict is, what do you do when you're in love with somebody that doesn't remember? This is the ramifications of the spell that you asked for.
Okay,
You
and
want
so
MJ,
in
but she
this,
don't remember you.
and so what are the stakes in this?
The villains are coming together. They Scorpion, Shocker, the Tinkerer. That's just three. We're not gonna say nothing about the Venom symbiote because we're saving that for Secret Wars. But you could throw another one in there. And yes, they have a overall scheme to do something that Spider-Man has to foil. And if the Punisher is there, they could cross paths on why. I don't know if you bring the hand into this at all. The hand, if you take the hand out of this movie, it's still the same movie. They really don't have anything
The
to do
hand,
in the movie.
the hand was in the movie specifically for the fight scenes at the end.
So you
That's
agree there
exactly
was
no.
nothing
I
for them to
did. There
do.
was nothing for them to do. I'm not.
Yeah.
My disagreement with what you were saying was in the sense that they shouldn't be in purely because they're daredevil villains.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's nothing for them to do. Like you could have
No, I mean,
substituted
of
it
course it
with
was nothing
anybody.
for them. Of course it was nothing for them to do because they were in the movie for all of what 4 minutes. The little 2 minutes
So
where they were introduced to like 15 seconds when he went back into the DODC and they were limping out because the Hulk beat their ass, and then the 2 minutes that they were fighting in the jail cell. But no, it was literally for them to have the wire work fights, which I thought was incredible.
not knocking the fight scenes. I'll give them that. But at the same time, did
But
not need it.
but even with them being in it, it didn't take away from the story. They didn't add anything. It didn't take anything away. Yes, they were
They don't add
inconsequential.
anything.
They
The
were,
whole
but
thing that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Whole
saying
movie
I
was
agree with you.
inconsequential.
See, that's where I disagree with you. But it's they served a purpose for cinematic reasons.
Wouldn't you rather see a fight scene with a prolonged fight scene with Scorpion, a prolonged fight scene with Shocker, a prolonged fight scene with the Tinkerer, or anybody else in Spider-Man's
Well, he's
role
not going to fight
together?
the Tinker. Tinker don't fight.
But he can supply other people with
He
weapons,
can supply other
and
people with weapons.
that storyline itself would still have been a Spider-Man storyline.
I feel like that's a C plot at best.
Wow, wow. Clearly, you're gracious of
Because
giving it a
even
C.
e- Scorpion, Shocker, Tinkerer are villains of the week villains.
Wow.
Have they ever
First
been
of
in the
all, I
Sinister
know
Six?
I first of all, I think they will be offended by that, though I don't care. No, they not haven't been in the Sinister Six. But
Exactly.
that's
They're not
whoa, whoa,
big
whoa, whoa,
enough
whoa, whoa, whoa.
villains.
Shocker has been in the Sinister Six. He has been
Electro.
in iteration of the
Electro
Sinister
is in the
Six.
Sinister Six.
Still got too many villains. Yeah, yeah. Way too many villains. It's the same power set. But
But
what I'm saying is, it
mhm,
still would have been a grounded Spider-Man story. It didn't have to be 3 hours, but it definitely would have been more room to explain the plot holes, or not. I won't say plot holes. I'll say the inconsistencies in the story. Like Spider-Man,
holes, not plot holes, but holes. There are things.
inconsistencies,
I mean, it's not even really inconsistencies. It's just gaps in the story.
huge gaps.
You say huge, I say gaps. But regardless, I agree with you that there are gaps. I agree that there were things that could have been fleshed out more. I disagree wholeheartedly that this is the worst Spider-Man movie that was ever made.
I'll take that back because I forgot about
You
Spider-Man
you
2.
you laid on real strong out the gate. Might I remind you of Spider-Man 3? Topher Grace
Spider-Man
as
3,
Venom.
Topher Grace as Venom was the bad part. Spider-Man 2, the Green Goblin was the bad part.
Oh,
Like
Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
the inclusion, and both of these directors have said I did not want these characters in. They told me to put them in. I had to shoehorn them in. So I understand what you're saying. That there's
I'm
no
not
room for them to
blaming
be
them.
in.
I'm just saying that at the end of the day, those were not great movies. I understand the reasoning behind why they were not great movies, but that doesn't take away from the fact that they were not great movies.
This was not a great movie.
Says you.
This was a this was a oh yeah, it's gonna probably hit 2 billion. But you and I have talked about this before on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Box office numbers don't mean that you're a great movie. It doesn't
I
make you a super movie
I
at
think
all.
it does. For you to reach, if they after,
Avatar, Way of the Water.
but here's the thing. If after, like we talked about with we were reacting to the Doomsday trailer, you look at opening weekend numbers. Yes, that original influx is going to be great because everybody's excited for the movie.
The fans, yes.
What happens afterwards showcases how good a movie is.
I think people love Holland. I think people love Zendaya. I think people love Jacob. I think people love Spider-Man. I think they're gonna go out in droves for something to see and something to do. I think the younger audience that loves Spider-Man will see it 2 or 3 more times. But at the end of the movie, what has changed besides Spider-Man's puberty into having new abilities? Well, it's not even new abilities. He has a higher sense, spider sense, and he has organic webbing, and he's stronger, and he's more agile. So his power set has increased. Outside of that, what's changed?
His life, his emotional
Because he got his
maturity.
friends. Because he got his friends back.
No, just his emotional maturity of the things that he's had to
So we,
deal with.
how long this movie is? An hour and what? 30 minutes?
Runtime. Give me 2 seconds. 2 hours 25 minutes.
Yeah, 3 hour movie. So you needed a 3 hour movie to talk about Spider-Man's emotional state.
You are
I'm making valid points.
you're no, you are discounting everything that happened to just say that it's a zero sum and nothing happened at all.
He got the key to the city.
That's a
Granted, he got the
small
key to the
part
city.
of what happened in the movie.
I'm waiting for you to tell me
Listen, we don't have another hour and a half of me to explain to you what happened in the movie. You
nothing
watched the
happened in
movie.
the
You know
movie.
what happened.
Nothing happened.
You
Nothing happened in the
sure.
Spider-Man got an
Okay.
upgrade. He got a new suit. He got new powers. Game over. Roll credits. Oh yeah, by the way, Zendaya maybe remember or MJ maybe remember his best friend Ned remembers because he because magic runs in his family. Roll the credits.
Sure.
Damage control still a threat. Jean Grey still out there. Punisher still out there killing
So
whoever
okay,
says
so
something's wrong. Hulk
here
still
okay,
out
my
there.
final question.
What's that?
Since none of those things existed
What do you
prior to
mean?
the movie starting,
What do you mean?
DLDC was not viewed as a threat for human or enhanced human experimentation.
Oh yeah, they were. What you talking
No,
about?
no,
In
no, no,
every
no.
iteration they have been.
Not experimentation. We've seen them rounding them up in Wonder Man, but nothing was ever mentioned about experimentation to the point that where they've killed people. Never mentioned.
So
Before
everything is pacing good.
listen, well, you're saying that nothing happened prior to the movie starting. DODC was not a threat for experimenting on enhanced individuals. Bruce
It's still a
Banner
threat.
was still in his human form. He had his inhibitor. He was not turning
It's
into the
true.
Hulk. We
But
didn't
again, we didn't
have,
even see who broke it. How did it break? You think Bruce didn't fortify this thing after the accident in She-Hulk? You've seen it was bigger, it was stronger, it was more accurate. It had a little dial on it.
yeah,
How did it get broken?
I'm pretty sure she took over his mind and he took it off. Here's the thing, you can't show every
Show it.
single second of every little detail.
The 3 hour movie, you sure the hell can.
But you're
You
saying that
sure
nothing
can.
happens. All of this stuff is a product of this movie. You're saying that Metzger is still out there. Metzger wasn't a threat prior to this movie. You're saying Hulk is still out there. Hulk wasn't a threat prior to this movie. Jean Grey is
He's not a
still
threat now.
he he is.
Banner's Banner again. You don't think he's going to put the inhibitor back on? You
Yes,
think he
but
only
Banner
made the
also
one?
has the internal struggle of fighting to suppress the Hulk.
He's always had that.
But do you
That's
not
his
think that
core
it's
character
going to
trait.
be different now that Hulk knows that he has been suppressed for this long?
No, because if that was the case, it wouldn't have been no reverting him back. Even if he said, "It's me, your friend Peter," he would
Because
have slung him and went around destroying whatever he was destroying.
okay, so all going back to Avengers Age of Ultron, Savage Hulk will still be able to be calmed down by Black Widow. There is some
Oh,
humanity
so you
in there
so
with
you
them.
want you want Peter to say, "Hey, big
No, I
guy,
don't want Peter to do anything. All I'm saying is that
starts getting real love."
this is not the first time that we've seen Hulk restrain himself in his Savage Hulk form.
What was Hulk on Ragnarok? Was that not the Hulk?
Yes, that was a Hulk.
Was the Hulk not showing signs of intelligence, talking to Thor, talking to Valkyrie?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not saying that he's not uncontrollable. I'm saying if he's Savage Hulk, he's Savage Hulk. He doesn't care that it's Peter Parker. He doesn't care it's Spider-Man. You think he cared when he slammed Spider-Man into the side of the building?
No, he didn't.
No.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about Hulk in Ragnarok. That was a different Hulk. I'm talking about the Hulk in Age of Ultron. That was Savage Hulk. That was not intelligent, starting to talk and make coherent sentences Hulk.
What's the point? The point that I'm saying is Hulk's still here. He's going to get suppressed again because he's going to put the inhibitor on again. The biggest thing they're going to say is that inhibitor is created, and that's going to go into the mutant
That's
saga.
conjecture. That's all of this right now is not what it's
Canon.
not proven to
Got you.
what's going to happen.
I got you.
It's
So if we focus
well, what
on
I'm saying,
this, what's changed?
it's logical that that
Yes.
might be the road that they're going down, but until they officially canonize that, you can't be upset
Okay.
over something that hasn't happened yet.
I don't want my boy Spider-Man to get this rap. They go pin it on him.
If they do,
But I'm
then
saying
if they
in
do,
this movie, what's changed?
Peter's changed. That's the whole thing. That's the whole premise of the movie. That's the brand new day. It is a brand new day for Peter Parker. He's not alone anymore. He's not dealing with that struggle in that he feels like he has to take on his responsibility to do everything by himself. It's a brand
Peter
new
Parker
day.
will
He
struggle.
has a new outlook on how he's operating.
You contradicted everything that you did in a previous movie. You said that you were not going to be friends with MJ and Ned because you didn't want them to be in danger. Now you've retconned that by saying, "Hi, I'm Peter."
That's every single anytime you have a movie that says I did this to protect you. I lied
Hmm.
to protect you. I didn't tell you because I wanted
Yes,
to protect you. That's a trope
yes.
in almost every single movie. For MJ to talk to him and say, "Who are you to make that decision for me?"
Yeah, that's always the response.
Right,
I know the risk when I signed up.
but the thing about it is that Peter was going through his life not revealing himself to the people he loved the most in fear
Mhm.
that they would be
That they'll get
targeted.
hurt. Yes.
He
And you don't
gets
think that's going to
confronted.
happen?
Well, he realized that now because you have someone that can get into your head, find out information about you. As long as you have information that's pointing to those people that you love, yes, that's going to happen. But the thing about it is that he has learned that that is not something that is sustainable. He can't go through life pushing everyone away just based off of the fact that he wants to protect them and keep them safe. That's what he's learned. He's learned that he can be Peter Parker. He can have a life. He can have love. He can have friends. He can also be Spider-Man.
He also stole that from Miles Morales.
What do you mean?
I can do both. That's what literally what Miles says in his movie. He said, "I can do both. I can do both." And he's now this
So
Peter Parker, this Spider-Man
you
saying,
can't say
"I
that he
can do
stole that
both."
from Miles Morales when Miles
Well,
Morales
yeah,
is
he did.
no, because Miles Morales is an iteration after Peter Parker Spider-Man. So things that Miles
Peter
Morales has
Parker never
said
said that he could do both ever.
in no comic issues has he said that he can be both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. You telling me that in no comics that he's ever said
I
that?
didn't say that because clearly he walked away
That's
from
where
being
it all
Spider-Man
comes
and said it.
from.
But
It
I'm
all stems
saying,
from the comics.
if you're looking at the what recently came out with the general audience is exposed to that they saw Spider-Man.
you
We talking about
you
the love of
are
Spider-Man.
you're projecting your hatred of this movie onto everybody else that's watching
I
it.
don't hate the movie. I don't hate the movie. I just think it could have been better. I think it hovers as it hovers, if not the worst. It was it if it's Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, then Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3, this brand new day comes right above those two. It's lower on the list for me, with
Okay.
Homecoming probably being the best one, in my opinion.
All right. Well, you all have heard our take. Let us know what
Leave it
your
in the
takes
comments.
on Spider-Man Brand New Day happens to be. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did you think that it could be better? Or did you just flat out hate it? Because I'm sure that there are some people out there that have hated it. And
Yeah,
that is
there,
nothing wrong with that. Everyone is entitled to
I
their
don't hate it.
opinion.
I don't hate it. I just don't think
Mr.
it's one of
VIP
the
doesn't
best
hate it,
ones.
but he doesn't think that it's good. But let us know in the comments what you thought about Spider-Man Brand New Day. And remember, if you like this video, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new
Yeah.
episodes that come out. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on your favorite podcast streaming platform. And if you want to reach out to us on social media, just click the link in the description below.
Leave the comments on how y'all feel about Spider-Man Brand New Day. I would love to know how many people agree that it could have been better. That's all I'm saying. It could have been better. From what we got, yes, people are gonna flock. I think
I've
Spider. Remember, after the pandemic, Spider-Man was the movie that brought people out the house, and that's a lot why the numbers probably are skewed, because it was right after the pandemic. One of the biggest movies that came out of the pandemic, people went to go see Spider-Man. That's probably why the numbers wasn't what they were then that they are now. Pandemic's over. So if they would have known, if we would not have a pandemic, would have potentially seen that Spider-Man iteration hit like a billion first opening weekend.
maybe we don't know,
People
but
love
I
Spider-Man.
feel if you're looking for comments. I feel like if you, I feel like the number of people who think that the movie could have been better is infinite almost, because there's no perfect movies. There's always something that can be done better in movies. I think that as good as I think that this movie was, yes, I think it could be better. My favorite movies of all time, I think that they still could be better. So
I won't say that. Some of my favorite movies of all time are how Homelander said it was perfect. It was
get,
perfect.
give me one.
Bad Boys 2, Matrix 2, Die Hard 1, Die Hard with Samuel L. Jackson in it. I was about to say A Christmas Story.
And I mean, like I said, that's your take on them. I'm sure that they're probably.
You don't
I'm
think that there are some movies that are just pristine, like don't touch it, and that's why people say we don't need a sequel. They killed it. Bad Boys 2 was one of them.
I still think that there
Bad Boys
are.
1 was one of them.
I feel like even you can ask any director, any writer after a movie has been released, no matter how well loved it is, I'm sure
Sinners.
in hindsight, they'll look back on it and say, I could have done some things differently. I would like to
Yeah,
have
that's the
changed this.
artist.
Right. But
That's
what
the
I'm
artist
saying,
in them.
so all I'm saying is that there will always be someone, no matter what the movie is, that is going to say that the movie could have been better, or here's how it could have been better. So I'm just saying that in your question of saying leave it in the comments if you think that the movie could have been better. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody would say that the movie could have been better. I said the movie could have been better.
Like what you're saying, Spider. There's an infinite number of people that would say that. That's because they're all infinitely awesome as I am. And that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying the connection is there. So we can acknowledge that. And
We'll,
it's the side of infinitely awesome.
we
That's all.
will
That's all.
acknowledge that you all are absolutely infinitely awesome. But thank you all
So are you.
so much for joining us this episode. We appreciate all the love and all the support. We'll see you on the next one. But just remember, until then, keep being super.
And brush your teeth up and bottom. Don't forget the back and the front. Catch all that mouth. Switch hands.